Hi, I'm Thalia and my story is going to be about my parents.
My angels, Sabrina and Marcos. Who are they? I call them Mom and Dad. These two people brought me into this world on a cold winter day on January 31st in Cooper Hospital. Even though they were young, they tried their best to do everything they could for me. They tried to manage school, work, home, and a daughter. If you ask me, that's a lot to deal with at 15 years old. They had many choices, abortion, adoption, and other things, but they decided that keeping me was the best idea. At times, Mom would have to wake up at 5 in the morning to get ready for school. She did not always have someone by her side to help her with me, so she would have to feed me, change diapers, change my clothes, brush her teeth, take a shower, do her hair, cook, eat, and maybe more that I don't know about. Sometimes it would be so much for her to deal with, waking up in the middle of the night to feed and change her crying baby, she wouldn't go to school. While she was at school, Grandma would take care of me. I began to love her more than I did my own mother. I would always want to be with Grandma, go to work with her, stay at her house, but Mom wasn't taking that. She wanted me home. I would be in the car with Mom and I would cry the whole ride home because I didn't want to go home with Mom. I wasn't really used to being with her because she spent most of her time away. But as I got older, I began to realize that crying wasn't going to do anything because she wasn't going to let me stay with Grandma. I don't know why, but she just didn't want me to stay with her. Now Dad, I didn't really spend much time with him till about the age of 2 or 3. He would take me to the mall and we would just walk around together. But going to the mall with the 2-year-old wasn't the best idea when it was time to use the bathroom. Dad would start talking to women to see if they could take me to use the bathroom. And I think he liked me having to go to the bathroom so he could start talking to girls and getting numbers and things like that. But I always had fun with him. When I would stay over his house, he would have to call his girlfriend to see if she could come fix the little bit of hair I had, so we could go out and have some time together. He couldn't do hair if his life depended on it. I lived with my mother my whole life, but my 7th grade year I had to move with Dad because I must have been going through a stage because I was so bad. My mom couldn't really handle me. I wouldn't really listen to anyone except for Dad, but I wasn't living with my dad, so I was doing as I wanted. So one day, I was called to the guidance counselor's office, and he told me I would be transferring. I was so upset. I had so many different feelings. Living with my father my 7th grade year changed me forever. My dad and stepmom were on top of my homework, my grades, projects, me spending time on studying and everything. That was a big change because Mom wasn't really like that, so I wasn't used to it. Sometimes I would go to sleep crying because I spent so much time doing homework and studying. That was so much for me. School had finally finished. I made sure that that was my last year living with my dad. Even though living away from Mom for a year was good, I just couldn't deal with living there. So I went back to living with my beautiful, loving mother. Now I'm still living with her. It's not as bad as it used to be. We still argue at times, but that's what mothers and daughters do.
Mom and Dad, I just want to say that I know we've been through a lot, but I wanted to thank you for everything, and I love you guys.